How can an archaeological place can a strength or testimony? This is a question that I'm going to be talking about today. So, I am from Mexico, and in Mexico we have several places where there are a lot of pyramids with a lot of deep history. Our ancestors believed in different things that can be related directly to the teachings of the church, particularly the teachings of the Book of Mormon. Today I'm going to be talking about one of these cities called Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan means the city of the gods. It was founded very early before Domini, and it was very strong from 300 before Domini to 600 after Christ. Now, this city has a lot of different places and important ones that can be related directly to the church and to the gospel, to the plan of salvation and different things. But today I'm going to center this on a specific place called La Ciudadela. La Ciudadela was a place for instruction and sacred ceremonies. It was surrounded by 15 small pyramids, four by each side, and in the north there were three main ones. This represented the leadership that they had or that they believed. And in the center of this place for instruction, they decided to build a very important temple dedicated to Quetzalcoatl. Now, the temple of Quetzalcoatl, um, it was dedicated to this god. Quetzalcoatl meant the feathered serpent, a serpent with feathers, and the story is very simple. It is a serpent that represents salvation that came from heaven. Quetzalcoatl was also considered the god of the rain, the wind, and the creator of the world and mankind. He was he was with other gods, and they created everything. Um, for other cultures, they represented the same, but with different names. For example, for the Mayans, um, it was called Kukulkan. For the people from Guatemala, it's called Gugumats. And from the people of the Gulf of Mexico, it was called a Hecatl, which was a um, different name, same story. Now think a little bit about how you would represent something flying in the past. If you live around those days, probably the only thing that you could associate with something flying was birds. And that's interesting because this then might be the representation of the feather on this serpent. Now, going back a little bit on the scriptures and what we know from the Bible, there's a story of Moses. It is related, or it is told, and you can read about this story on Alma 32 to Alma 35, or in Numbers 21. And the story is very simple. The people from the from Moses or the old Israel were traveling, and in the desert there were a lot of snakes. They started to bite everyone, and they were poisoned. And Moses prayed to God, and he creates this symbol and the way for saving everyone that was getting bit. Uh, it is a a stick in the shape of a serpent, and everyone that looked at the serpent was going to be saved. Some people believed this, some people didn't, and the ones that did this, look at the serpent, survived. The serpent was a representation of Jesus Christ for them and how salvation was going to be. And it's a symbol that is still used in medicine. Now, if you relate the serpent to the Savior and then some flying to wings or feathers, then this story is going to sound very interesting for you. In 3 Nephi 11, Christ visits the Americas. And in the Book of Mormon, you can learn how Christ came from heaven and visited his town. So basically, he came from heaven. He was represented in that time by feathers, wings, and he is a serpent because he brings salvation. This is the story that I wanted to share because I know it's related directly to the gospel, and the most important thing, it can strengthen our testimony. Now, consider also that at the end of the legend of Quetzalcoatl, he comes to the Americas to provide instruction and then he departs and promised that he's going to be coming back again. After a while, people came to Americas to conquer, and the Aztecs and everyone was very open because they believed it was Christ coming back. So that's the story that I wanted to share, and I hope you enjoyed this video.